Join us on Patreon to support our channel and the work we do to help people, animals and the planet.
You'll get rewards like ebooks, one-on-one Skype calls and online coaching discounts.
Can I get 2 fish and chips, please?
The battered hake.
A little bit of late lunch, you say? I just want to iron something out. I am not calling myself vegan anymore. I'm not labeling anything. I just eat mostly a plant-based diet and occasionally some fish. But no beef, no chicken, no pork, no eggs, no milk, dairy stuff. Some cheese occasionally. Still wear leather, and apparently if you eat honey you're not vegan.
Your diet is majority vegan most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, the main thing for me is like not eating meat, basically.
Yeah, red meat.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to eating this locally sourced hake. Cowspiracy is incredible. I highly, highly recommend, however you go about it, watching Cowspiracy. Like that guy was saying, it's about acting on what we know and educating ourselves. I've spent the last few weeks learning, reading, watching, and educating myself about the impact on the environment and the impact on my body that eating meat is having.
I'm looking forward to eating this locally sourced hake.
You're killing us, Ben. You're killing us. Where are your balls, brah? Mr. Ben Brown. Mr. Ben Brown, where are your balls, brah?
Let's start off with the positives. Ben's doing wonderful because...
So he mentioned he's not eating any meat from cows or pigs or chickens, presumably turkeys, ducks, but...
He's not having eggs and not having dairy. Occasionally he may have some dairy. So, let's just address this. First of all, the fish is battered. 99.9% sure that there's eggs in batter.
The tartare sauce or tartar sauce, however you pronounce it, that has a mayonnaise base, and mayonnaise comes from eggs. Now, Ben, you've got a big disconnect going on here, buddy. In your comments section, you are like a vegan. You respond to a particular viewer's comment by explaining the cruelty that goes on with respect to male baby chicks being ground up alive by the egg industry because they're deemed useless. You point it out like any ethical vegan would. It's fantastic,
so good, amazing.
But you paid somebody to kill male baby chicks when you ordered that fish and chips containing egg in the batter and egg in the mayonnaise.
And of course, let alone the actual fish itself. So, look, fish suffer just like all of the other animals that you have decided not to eat. So it's wonderful. You've made a very important connection and we're so proud of you. We keep saying that. But you're somehow thinking that fish don't feel. That's completely wrong. So we're going to link some resources down below. Please check them out. And also, let's now have a look at what the fish experience. Let's put ourselves in their possession.
In water, humans drown, just as fish suffocate on land. It's slow and painful and frightening. And we do it to more than 1 trillion fish every year. Put yourself in their place. Try to relate.
So Ben and Nicole are still really hung up on the whole thing of not using labels, not being labeled as a vegan, but...
Ben doesn't seem to have a problem with other labels like BMW, Land Rover, Apple. You know, I mean, these are all bullshit labels, Ben. They mean nothing. They're status symbols. Vegan is a label that actually means something. There are ethics behind it. It is a stance against violence. It's putting your hand up and saying, I will not pay for animal cruelty to be committed in my name. That is a label worth wearing, Ben. The other labels mean nothing. On your deathbed, you will not remember the Land Rover, BMW or Apple that you spruiked, but you will remember if you lived your life as an ethical vegan, imparting the least amount of cruelty to other living beings as practicable and possible.
What you need to understand is that anything that comes from an animal is something they produce for themselves. They're not doing it for us. So, there's no difference between milk and honey. There's no difference between meat and fish. There's no difference between a burger and a teaspoon of honey in your tea.
You're taking something that's not yours.
It's all violence. It's no good for you. It's no good for the environment. It's obviously not good for the animals.
With veganism, you give up nothing. You simply stop taking what was not yours.
Yeah. So in Ben's original vlog, when he was talking about becoming vegan, he was making a really important connection, and he said that he spent weeks researching and reading and learning and educating himself. So you can't tell us that he doesn't know what he's doing is wrong. It's wrong for his body, it's wrong for the fish, it's wrong for the environment. And what we cannot get our heads around is that Cowspiracy, which was the tipping point, the turning point for him, was predominantly about fish, about fishing, about our oceans, about how detrimental this is.
And not sustainable.
That's what the whole video was about. So
the tagline of Cowspiracy is the sustainability secret.
So how the hell...
The sustainability myth was debunked.
It's incredible. So how the hell does he now say, when he's got this fish on his plate, sustainably and locally
local.
farmed?
What does local mean? Local means it's just not very far away from here.
You missed the point. What are you doing, Ben? Come on. Snap out of it. Maybe all that mercury from the fish is getting to your brain, but you made the connection. You heard it. Dr. Richard Oppenlander was in Cowspiracy. We spoke about him in our previous video about Ben and Nicole and labels. He's telling us all that there's no such thing as sustainable fishing.
By 2048, there are going to be no fish left in the oceans. Now, how's that going to change the environment of the oceans? It's going to change the whole planet, given that 2/3 of the world's surface is covered by ocean, and that the oceans produce more than 50% of the oxygen that we breathe. I mean,
everyone's affected.
So it's not each to their own. People in the comments. This brings us to the comments.
So
people in the comments were saying, each to their own type mentality. You should be able to eat whatever you want. You shouldn't have to live up to a label.
No.
When it involves someone else's life, as in the animal that is directly, killed and loses its life, it's not a personal choice.
No, and it's affecting all humans on the planet.
Absolutely.
And there were two comments in particular that came up that we wanted to bring your attention to. 52 dislikes to Ben's video. Who are these people? These are people who actually live like they give a shit. Okay, these are people that care about more than, I want to ride my BMW around and eat whatever I want and not use labels.
They actually care about you, the person who made the comment. They care about everybody.
Incredible. Second comment that got our attention. Yeah, some people treat veganism like it's a cult. They're just as bad as dealing with the Taliban. You know what? You might think twice in 2048 when it kind of all goes to hell. But could be wrong, we could be fanatical, we could be extreme. I don't know, maybe all of Ben's supporters are right and we're just taking it too far. What do you guys think?
What I think is that I think Ben is scared of the vegan label because it sets a moral baseline to which he doesn't want to live up to, or he wants leniency on when he does and doesn't live up to it, so that he's not judged and held accountable and responsible for his actions, which is what everybody wants. Everyone wants to shirk responsibility for their own actions. Well, the time for that is gone. The planet is in dire straits, and we can't just have all this each to their own mentality, and I'll do my best when I can, but I want my leeways and what have you.
It's not good enough. And again, we keep emphasizing this. Ben has such a huge following. He has a responsibility on social media. He's got the education, he's got the information. Put it all together and be a voice.
Step up, Ben.
Be a voice.
Step up.
It is not acceptable to say, I do this 99% of the time, but occasionally when I feel like fish, I'm going to have it. Or occasionally, sometimes I have dairy. And wrap it up. Ben, grow some
balls.
Please, quickly. The planet needs you. Your followers need you. The animals need you. You need to grow some
balls.
You need to grow some
big balls. Let's go, Ben. Come on, buddy.
Big ethical
balls.
All right, guys. Post down below. What do you think of this? Are we being too harsh? Are we being like the Taliban? Are we kind of,
or do we just give a shit?
I don't know. Maybe we've got big
balls. Oh, not you.
Yeah, hope not. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you next video. I think conscious choice is more of a euphemism. Like, what does it actually mean? Because to the animal, to the victim, they're like, listen, conscious schmontious. Basically,